Good evening. Welcome to the Tewksbury Zoning Board of Appeals. Today is August 28th, 2025, and I'd like to call the meeting to order. First on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes from July 31st, 2025. Mistype.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from July 31st, 2025.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, let's go right into the hearings. First on the docket is Brian Paluzzi. Hope I pronounced that correctly.
Yes.
For variance under section 5.3.2 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw for front setbacks to construct a 4x8 and 3 front, how do you pronounce that? Portico? Is that what that is?
Oh, portico, yes.
Portico.
That would
As
be-
shown on plans filed with the board, said property is located at 392 Foster Road, Assessors Map 57, Lot 208, zoned residential. Could I get your name and your address for the board and just discuss and tell us what you're trying to get done, please?
My name is Brian Palazzi. I live at 392 Foster Road. The short synopsis, or the TLDR, if you will, I have a house that's 26 feet from the street. Lucky me. On that house is a 4x8 landing at the front door and 5 steps going up to it. It needs to be replaced. It's currently uncovered, and I would like to have it covered by adding the portico over the top of it. So it's not actually extending further out than it currently is. It's just that I believe the measurement changes because of the portico coming out.
Nothing's being changed to the stairs or any of that, basically just covering them up.
Correct. And that should be in the, I've got.
Yes, I see them.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
The only difference is 3 inches. It's, 8'3". It's because of the pillars. And the portico.
I don't have any questions. Do you, Ron?
I have no questions.
All right, being in public hearing, anybody have any questions? Please feel free to go to the podium. I'll take that as a
I'll
no.
make a motion to close both parts of the hearing.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. I don't have anything to add or anything more, do you?
No.
All right, make a motion?
I'll make a motion
Yeah,
to
go first.
approve. Yep, I'll make a motion to approve for a variance under section 5.3.2 under the Tewksbury zoning bylaws for front setbacks to construct a 4x8 foot 3-inch front portico as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 392 Foster Road, Assessors Map 57, lots 208, zone residential.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's approved.
Very much.
Thank you. Next on the docket, we have Richard Cuoco on behalf of Eileen R. Turbin for a variance under section 5.3.2 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw for front and side setbacks to construct on 896 square foot accessory dwelling unit as shown on plans filed with the board. Said property is located at 1557 Whipple Road, Assessors Map 56, Lot 192, zoned residential. Okay, well, that was a mouthful. Please.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, members of the board. I think I can get this up here again now. For the record, my name is Richard Chuko from Woodland Design, 81 Navalis Road, Tewksbury, Massachusetts. So the property that we have before you this evening is at 1575 Whipple Road. The applicant is requesting a variance from section 5.3.2 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw. The property is zoned residential, and if this will cooperate, we'll get a plan up here. Zoom out a little bit.
It was on a minute ago.
Yeah, it just kicked off.
Disappeared.
Yeah, right. Okay, not cooperating. So the property was first decreed as a buildable lot back in 1956 and is shown on a land court plan that is in your packet. I don't know, I can't get this screen to work, but bear with me. Anyway,
Came back.
so the lot is a pre-existing non-conforming lot that was created in 1956. The applicant wishes to construct an accessory dwelling unit attached to the existing dwelling. The shape of the lot is triangular, and it's a little difficult to get the addition on there to meet the zoning setback requirements. The proposed ADU has an unusual shape to it. As you can see, it's not a rectangle. We've got a bunch of jogs in it somewhere up here. I apologize. I'm just
No
gonna,
worries.
I'm just gonna forget it.
Yeah.
Okay. So originally what we had done is we had created a 30 by 30 square, and we put it onto the left side of the building, and what that did was it brought it within 1 foot of the property line. We didn't think that that was something that was the best interest of or in the spirit of the bylaw. So what we did, we went back to the architect, and he put 2 jogs in the building so that the building now is set back at least 10 feet from the lot line, which when the lot was created in 1956, the zoning setback was 10 feet. So the building that was on the lot prior to 2006 was actually only 7 feet from the lot line. There was a previous building on that lot. It was an old building that was torn down and a new one was constructed. So by putting the jogs in the building on there, it gives us the opportunity to still have under the 900 square feet, which is the maximum you can have for an accessory dwelling unit, and it provides a 10-foot setback to the property as opposed to the 15 which is required. Again, I'd say that the setback when the lot was created was 10 feet. In addition to that, I have a little handout here because I anticipated that the thing might not work.
Thank you.
Yeah, that makes it easier for us. Thank you.
So as you can see, what's hatched in red would be a conventional 30 by 30, 900 square foot accessory dwelling unit. And you can see how close it came to the lot line. So we went back to the architect, and obviously they are concerned about having flow and access on one floor for the accessory dwelling unit to make sure that everyone can get around on there if there's a handicap situation. So by putting those jogs in there, we were able to keep the front yard setback. We don't violate the immediate setback on the left-hand side of the lot, and we're 10 feet from the rear property line. I also superimposed the distances on there to the nearest units, dwelling units on the abutting property, so that there's still a sufficient separation in there to ensure that not infringing on any privacy from any of our abutters. So we think that the property is zoned residential, an accessory dwelling unit's allowed in a residential zoning district under the new law that was passed last year. Granting of the variance will not be detrimental to the neighborhood because it is a residential neighborhood, and it will provide necessary housing for a family member who is in need of housing. So we think that the circumstances of the shape of the lot, a variance could be granted without nullifying the purpose or the intent of the zoning bylaw. And I did provide a proposed finding in my packet. And try to answer any questions if you have any. And you can see the architecture of the facade of the building mirrors what's already there, so it'll be a very attractive building.
So I have a question on this. So you have highlighted in red, the red square? That would be proposed, traditional.
Traditional, yes, yeah.
It looks like you have like the dotted line, looks like a triangle there. Is that like what the setbacks would have meant if you were trying to meet setbacks, that dotted line?
Yes.
Okay, so that's really what you're trying to stay within.
So we just got this little,
Yep.
these two little corners.
And then what are these numbers here? Paul?
That's 84 feet to the abutting house.
Oh, okay, that's our next dwelling. Okay, yeah. And then this is the town line?
That's correct,
Yeah,
yes.
so this property is obviously Tewksbury, and that's Billerica.
We have a small portion of the property in Billerica, and,
Yeah. Oh, the piece of the lot, that's the lot right there, yep.
yeah, it goes, it does, yeah, it kind of filters into Billerica a little bit.
Okay.
So by doing the, even though, as you pointed out, Mr. Carey, by putting those jogs in there, we only have those two small triangles that infringe in the setback. And we think that that's a good compromise. Like, again, it's a non-conventional
Yeah.
floor plan, but
I'm trying to pull up the plan itself. I have the plan
I
here.
think it meets the spirit of the law anyways.
Yeah.
I'm looking through your packet. It is a rendering of the proposed
Yes.
elevation. Do you have anything that shows more of these jogs, not just a front view?
We have the floor plans. That should be in the packet.
Scroll,
There's the floor plan now.
it's under proposed site plans, and then you just scroll.
Oh, that's the second floor. I gotta get up to that.
Right, but you don't have any renderings of it, right? You just have the floor plan?
No, we have the renderings. It's coming. Come on. So there's the existing rear elevation, and there's the proposed rear elevation.
Of it, 10 by 10 by 10.
Then we have there's the side elevation, existing and proposed. And, oops, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I have the same thing here.
All right, and then the front.
So if I'm looking at the first rendering, the proposed front elevations. I'm going to come, as I'm looking at it, I'm going to go to the left of the garage
Correct.
in that shaded area, like a brick facade, is 2.9 feet back, something like that.
Yeah, that area right in here,
Didn't come up on our screens.
this area,
Yes.
yeah,
So that's a couple of feet back,
yeah,
right?
yes. The roof line goes straight across.
Okay. And then the next section there with your two windows, where's your next, because you get three, 1, 2, 3, you get 3 stages, right? So that would be your first stage back. Where's your second one?
Well, from the front, it's just one line straight across. If you look at it from the rear,
Yeah, on it, yeah, it's in the rear.
Okay.
yeah, so when you look at it from the rear,
Page 3.
Yeah, that wasn't,
this would be one leg,
yeah, 55.
this is the second leg, this is the third leg.
It's the rear of the house, but it's a side setback, right?
Yes.
It is a very weird shaped lot.
Well, but yeah, it's one of those things that, because it is sort of a triangular lot,
Yep.
they call it side setback. You have to have a side setback, but you don't have to have a rear setback if you have a triangular lot, so it's a little,
It's just a weird look.
it's the same distance, the rear and the side setback, so
Okay, so from the street, though,
from the street, it looks
Straight
straight across, right? Because the existing dwelling is just a little beyond the 25-foot front yard setback, so we maintain that distance across.
right?
And like I said, it would have been, you know, ideally, it would have just been a rectangular shaped addition, but I didn't feel that coming in and asking for relief to 1 foot was appropriate. So the architect wasn't happy with me, but
Are they ever?
well, I mean, they were able, the biggest challenge for them was roof lines. When you put the jogs in, they have to figure
Right.
out the roof lines, so. But he did it.
All right.
And it makes sense now?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm going to open it up. Any other questions?
No, I don't have any right now.
Being a public hearing, anybody who'd like to speak on behalf of this, please feel free to go to the podium. Okay. I don't have anything else to add.
Good, too.
All right, close both parts, please.
I'll make a motion to close both parts of the hearing.
Accept,
You second that?
second that, rather.
Helen?
All right.
And I. Okay.
So,
I'd like to make a motion.
I'll second that.
No, he's got to read it.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I'd like to make a motion for Richard Kukio on behalf of Elaine R. Turbin for variance under section 5.3.2 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw for side setback to construct an 896 square foot accessory dwelling unit as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 1557 Whipple Road, Assessors Map 56, Lot 192, zoned residential.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Very good, thank you very much, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Next on the docket, we have Raymer and Bronstein on behalf of CID 2025 Acquisitions LLC for variance under section 5.3.4 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw for a side setbacks to subdivide the existing property into 4 A&R lots as shown on plans filed with the board. Said property is located at 836 North Street, Assessors Map 52, Lot 1, zoned office research. Okay. Hi.
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the board. For the record, Christine Hung, attorney at Raymer and Bronstein, representing the applicant, Rhino Capital. With me tonight, I have John O'Leary on behalf of Rhino, and then we also have Phil Cordino sitting in the audience, who is our site civil engineer from Allen and Major. We are happy to be before you tonight with a request for a variance for the property located at 832 and 836 North Street. Just to orient you to the site, if you go to the next slide, John. So this is the site. North Street is to the right, 495 is to on Plan North. It is a large parcel, 2 parcels that comprise about 84 acres. It is located in the Office Research Zoning District, and it currently has a very large building on it, about 700,000 square feet. Unfortunately, due to market conditions, it's not responding to the marketplace. It has been largely vacant for many years. Rhino recently purchased the property in June of this year to reposition it. But in order to attract users to the site and also for lenders to finance it, we need to do a few things. One being modifying the subdivision roadway, and that is a matter that we will have before the planning board. And if you go to the next slide, John. So in 2002, the planning board approved a subdivision way, and that is, you see the white roadway, but then below it, you see the dotted line. That is what the planning board approved back in 2002. The history of the property is a little bit vague, but what exists today is the white roadway. I don't know if you've had a chance to go out to the site, but it is that way right now is beautifully landscaped. There's an island in the middle of the way, and it exists today. So what will be before the planning board is to modify the plan so that it conforms with what exists on the ground today. There's not going to be any construction. There's not going to be any exterior modification. It's just to make the plan show what is out there today. As part of that modification, we would like to create 4 lots. And the reason why we're before you today is based upon the green lot above as well as the purple lot, where we would like to make one of the lots go through the building, which would, our request is for a 0 lot line variance from this board. And the reason why that lot is where we have placed it is because of the distinct characteristics of the building that John will go through later on in this presentation that make it that just makes sense to put the lot line in that way. And again, there's not going to be any exterior modifications, no construction. It's simply drawing a lot line, so what you see from the ground is what you see today. It's just simply creating these lot lines for financing purposes and conveyance purposes. And there aren't going to be any additional impacts because nothing is really changing. It's simply just papering everything. This board is our first stop because we need the relief requested in order to move forward with the planning board to do the modification of the subdivision. And it is, I provided the board with a memo to support our variance application, and we feel that it meets the requirements of the statute. I'm going to turn it over to John now. He's going to walk you through the building and, basically just show you the building and why it makes sense to put the lot where we have decided to place it.
Thank you, Christine. For the record, John O'Leary, project manager with Rhino Capital, property owner. So Christine pretty much hit the nail on the head on sort of what we're here for today. But just to give you a little bit of context in terms of the property itself and from where we sit as landlord and business owner. So the property is sort of divided into 4 main components. Moving from right to left, building 200 is a 1 and 2-story building occupied by Corning Life Sciences. Building 300 is a 3-story building occupied also by Corning and Raytheon Technologies. Building 400 is a 5-story building, which is mainly vacant, but also has some occupancy for Raytheon. The property itself is, and then I should say, lastly is Building 500, which is effectively a warehouse industrial building, single story, 32-foot clear height. And the separation point between Building 500 and Building 400 is where we're looking to have this property line. As Christine mentioned, it's about 700,000 square feet. Only a third of the property is leased right now. Almost 66% of the building is vacant. And so what our strategy and what our plan is here to kind of come and breathe new life into this building. And that's sort of the intent. So as I mentioned, the sort of zooming in a little bit on the lot line and the setback in question. The yellow line is our proposed lot line approximately, the building on the left being the single-story industrial building, the building on the right being a 4-story, 5-story, really office building, effectively. I took these photos in the field the other day just to, again, give you a little bit of context as to the stark difference that exists between these two properties. Again, although it's the same building, quote unquote, they really are separate assets and separate property types. So why are we doing this? What's the benefit? There's a number of different reasons. I think Christine hit on one of them, which is from a capitalization perspective, a suburban office building is a much more I wouldn't say riskier, but it's a different appetite. It's a different lender base. It's a different capital structure. It's obviously a different tenancy market. You provide different amenities for those types of tenants. Whereas Building 500, it's a single-story warehouse building, industrial building that there's a lot of demand for this type of product. Right now in this market, especially here north of the city, this is a really popular area for tenants. We've seen a lot of groups interested in this space, and we also have another industrial product in Tewksbury that we've seen a lot of demand for. So our goal here is really to kind of subdivide these buildings and kind of bifurcate the risk, split the risk up between a suburban office building and a suburban industrial building. They just have very different sort of structures to them. Just again, giving you a sense of the interior of the building. So these are both taken from inside of Building 400. So one is sort of a shell condition, stripped out, bare bones, and then the other photo on the left is picked up desks and walked out. Building 500 is a very different building. Again, single story, 32 to 35 foot clear height. It looks and feels like an industrial, warehouse building. And again, the goal here is to kind of split these buildings. So one of the key pieces for us was understanding, hey, setbacks are in large part and in many parts a life safety concern. So there's a lot going on this slide, and I won't get into too much detail, but what we did before we submitted this application to both the zoning board and the planning board was we had a meeting with the building inspector and the fire chief, along with Alex Louder, to sort of talk through, hey, if we're going to put a lot line that bifurcates an existing building in two, from a life safety perspective and a building code perspective, what are we doing? What kind of, what improvements do we need to make? So with the help of a code consultant and an architect, we put together a plan of attack for increasing and bolstering the existing condition from a life safety perspective. So that's where existing openings, doorways exist. Our plan is to close up unnecessary doorways with a fire-rated condition, bolster existing fireproofing between openings that do need to remain, and then add additional sprinkler protection and fire and life safety protection to both sides of the building. So the goal is essentially to improve the existing condition from a fire and life safety perspective. The fire chief and the building commissioner were generally on board with this. We obviously need to make these improvements in the field, but they were on board with our plan of attack and approach. And so that's what our plan is from that perspective. And that sort of concludes our slideshow presentation. I'm sure you all have questions, and we're happy to answer anything you might have.
How many lots are there right now?
There are 2 lots right now.
Lots now. Can you go,
Show us the two.
yeah, go back to the slide with the two.
That show it? No, this one shows it.
That's what you want to do.
That's what we want to do.
So
Yeah.
the 2 lots are the green, so generally it's like the green, purple, and yellow are one lot, and the tannish one is another lot. I don't have,
So you can, there's a dotted line that runs sort of page north and south. Yep.
Yeah.
And then further to the right even, you see that former lot line.
You don't have a print of what's there now? You don't have a slide of what you have right now?
Existing condition.
it's the second slide.
This is a more detailed slide of what the existing condition is, but I don't know if it shows the existing lot lines. I don't believe it does.
It does not show.
Yeah, no, it
I
doesn't.
can look on the GIS. Yeah, I was going to say, I can pull it up on the GIS.
I don't think my computer's connected to the internet, to be honest with you. I think what we're, from the subdivision roadway perspective, what we're trying to do is properly reflect the road that exists in the field. So where you see the gray dotted line that's shown on this slide, that effectively would run where that lower parking lot is, right below where it says proposed roadway A. It sort of runs south along that.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
If you want to.
please.
Probably.
Didn't know there was ocean over there.
Oh, yeah. So what's shaded in brown is, you'll see 836, and then 832 is the white kind of on the right.
Oh, okay.
Are there any buildings on 832 right now? No.
No.
There's a
Like a basketball
There's a
court.
basketball court, a softball field,
Yeah.
and a small parking area.
That, in that property?
Yep, directly adjacent to the fire department there that's the 830, I believe, if I'm looking at it correctly.
And you kind of see the high tension wires going there.
Yeah, there's a.
Really don't make it out too well, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a, what does it fill?
And all those residential lots, they come up to your lots? They abut your lots?
Yep,
Yeah, but that.
But there's a-
they do cross the tension wires.
there's a 300-foot, yeah, you can sort of see it there, actually, you can see where the tree, yeah, so it's a roughly 300-foot wide utility easement. Yep, there it is. Thank you.
Could you go to that colored map again that shows the 4 lot, oh, sorry, I think we're good there on that.
Just illustrate the point.
Yep.
All right.
It's on my screen.
This is almost dial-up speed.
It keeps thinking like it's going to be there, but hold on, let me try again.
These lots are, is there?
You can ask whatever you want. All you.
Oh, there it goes.
Now, do you have any future proposals for like Lot 3A? Because that's just a parking lot?
It's a parking lot right now. We're considering potential future development on that lot. What that looks like, we're not entirely sure yet. That's sort of part of why we're sort of setting the stage for this.
Okay.
But again, we sort of, our focus is kind of to get to this point and then reassess and determine what highest and best use for that area is.
And then even if you were to break this off and this all gets approved, do you meet parking requirements for the other lots, like for what you have there now?
In totality, yes.
Okay.
And one of the considerations in sort of thinking about highest and best use for that Lot A is absolutely parking. The bulk of that,
It's a big lot,
It's
that parking lot.
huge.
it's huge. You know, we have, I think,
I've worked in there at one
Like
time.
over 1,000 spaces totally.
Yeah.
I
Total.
worked at 400 for
yeah,
a while.
yeah. So
Bucom was there.
I think part of what we're trying to do, or what our thought is, you know, Rhino Capital, just a little bit about us, we're a Boston-based industrial owner, operator, and developer. So what we view for building 400 and 300 even is less of an office user and more of a light manufacturing, R&D, manufacturing type of user, which has a much lower parking demand. So our consideration in sort of repurposing this building is, hey, if we're going to have all this excess parking that likely isn't going to really get touched, even if we go and lease up a portion of this or a large portion of this building, what can we do with this area? What can we do to drive more economic development to this area?
Okay. And then as far as, I think you did say you met with the building commissioner and
Fire
fire
chief.
prevention?
Fire
And
chief.
they were fine with the way you were doing the lot separation with the building?
Yeah, they were most focused with what's going on inside the building. We put together a code report with our code consultant and our architect to sort of review existing conditions. There is a fire-rated wall and a fire-rated separation between these buildings right now. What we will be creating is not a fire-rated wall, but now a party wall, which is something you typically see more so in the city.
Yep.
By building code requirements, unless granted by the building commissioner, there's no penetrations allowed between a party wall condition. So our
It's gonna be
intention would
separate,
be
completely separate.
close up as many as possible while only leaving absolutely necessary openings and bolstering those openings with further fire protection, whether that's added sprinkler heads, adding in fire-rated door conditions in those areas.
Okay.
All of the buildings have a separate fire connection, a fire service connection, a separate electrical connection, a separate water connection. Actually, not a separate water connection. The whole park is serviced by a single water, but a separate fire protection system.
Okay.
Which was an important piece for the fire department and the fire chief.
And do you know the history of that, the development of all these buildings, the 1 through 500 or 400 on the numbers? Were they all constructed at the same time, or was that done in phases
No,
over the
they were,
years?
yeah, it was Wang Laboratories was developed them. It went from, actually jotted it down, it was 70 to 80, so building 200 was 1970, 300 was 75, 400 was 79, and 500 was 80.
Okay. And maybe just my last question that I have is, so that, could you go to the color map again? Sorry. Lot 4A.
Yes.
And again, kind of same question to what I said on 3A, maybe future development there, is what you thinking, or?
Development is hindered pretty significantly by the power easement in
Okay.
lot 4A. I think maybe something out on the street at North Street, but in looking at that lot, it's about 2.5 acres in terms of that softball field and basketball field, or basketball court, excuse me. Potentially something there, but the way this came to be in terms of carving up the 4A is just, it was almost what was left over, to be quite honest.
Yep. Okay.
My only concern is to allow a property that has zero setback. And I like what we're trying to do here, but what if 10 years from now that property sells again? Now we have a property with a variance that has a zero setback attached to it. That's my only issue.
I think you can have in certain situations a zero setback as long as what John was saying before, that there's fire protection, because it's really like the policy behind the setbacks is for life safety and.
I'm more worried about the next owner. I like what you're doing. I understand that you want an office building and a warehouse building, but now we're going to have a property that has a variance for zero setback.
You're saying if that building were to come down and somebody were to redevelop the property?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's a way that we could put a condition on it, that it's only for this owner or only for this property. That would be my only concern with it. I don't know.
If they zone it all four, I mean, which one would have no setback, all four,
Well, the top two,
right?
right? So lot 2A and 1A, because you're going to split that building right in half. They want to subdivide the property so they can sell this half and sell that half.
Right.
Now you have two properties with zero setback. That variance is attached to the property. So if that building in 5 years or 10 years from now gets torn down, now you have a variance with zero setback for your next building.
Would have to meet the zoning. Yeah, we can do that. I mean, we could agree to a condition that any future, if anything were to come down, that they would either have to comply with existing dimensionals or come back for a variance, but they couldn't just have like a zero lot line. Like, our intention is to keep the building as it is, but I understand your concern, but there could be a condition that if,
I don't know if that's a thing. Like, I'd like our town
It is.
attorney to
I
weigh
think-
in on it.
Uh,
I'd like our town attorney to weigh in on it and let me know if we can put a condition for this owner specifically.
Or for this orientation of the property, if there's any future changes in terms of development or orientation of the buildings.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Alexandra Louder, Town Planner. You can put any conditions on the approval that you like. And, what we've actually done with a different application from Rhino Capital was the unique conditions that resulted in an approval. The planning board has made conditions that if the conditions on the ground were to change, then they would have to return to the board to reconsider whether the approval still stands. So as Mr. Dugan noted, variances do run with the land, but you can attach it to the very unique circumstances that are in front of this application.
and that ZBA decision is a record, so that's part of the title of the property.
Yeah, I have no more questions.
Okay. Rob, do you have any further questions?
His name's Joe.
Joseph.
Joseph, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I don't know why I said Rob.
It's maybe that right there. I'm just reading something on the zero setbacks with the town.
If I may, Madam Chair.
Please.
Alex Lauder again. The planning board actually has the authority to create zero lot lines in business districts. This is just one of the districts they don't have the ability to do that in, so it's not completely wild for you folks to consider this a unique situation where zero lot lines could be warranted. It's just something that they don't have the authority to do, which is why they're visiting you guys today.
Zero lot lines or zero setback?
Zero setbacks, yes.
Where have they done that in town?
It hasn't been granted yet. It became a part of the bylaw in 2022, but the planning board does have the authority to do it in the business districts along Route 38 and Woburn Street and parts of Andover Street if the situation warranted it.
So it looks like most of what I'm reading is in like VR districts. Did you aware of any of that? So, yeah,
Yep, that's
all
one
right.
of the business districts, yes.
Yeah. I don't think I have any questions right now. I'm done with questions.
I'm okay.
All right. Does anybody else have anything they want to add? No? Can you close?
You didn't open it to the public yet.
I did. I asked if there was anything else anybody else needed to add.
Okay.
Make a motion to close the
Both parts of the hearing.
both parts of the hearing.
Okay, hold on.
So before I second that, do we want to make this motion on our own, or do we want to have perhaps a town attorney write up something that's perfect? Or do we just want to wing it?
I'm happy to work with town council to draft the, like, to work something together that will then be, and Al can,
I'd like to see a draft. I'd like to see something,
You would prefer to see something final and written before it's
Yeah.
approved?
yeah,
Maybe we can push this out until next month until we see a
yeah.
draft?
I'd agree with that.
You'd okay with that?
Yeah.
So I don't want to second his motion to close both.
No, we're going to keep it open. Do you want to make a motion, though, to?
I'd like to make a motion to continue to our next scheduled meeting
With a draft
with the draft of a motion,
to add.
for, it doesn't go any further than this owner or this situation or change of conditions. I'd like to
Okay.
see something from,
Okay. All right, we'll do that. We'll continue it for next month then, with something to us stating from town attorney or council saying that it's in writing that this stays within this organization that, or company, or, go ahead,
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
that it,
Just a one-time use maybe,
Right.
something like that, or it's-
and then after that, it
Maybe
has to
condition.
abide to
yeah,
zoning laws.
yep.
sure.
Okay. All right,
All right, so I made the motion.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll push it out to next month.
All right, thank you
with
very
that
much.
document. Okay. Next, no new business. Our next meeting is going to be held September 25th, 2025. Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to close both parts, to adjourn, excuse me. I gotta say that.
I'm in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.